Hey y'all, it's Andrea here from Andrea Speaks TV, back to bring you more news and commentary you can use. Listen, I want to start out by saying thank you all so much for supporting the channel, subscribing to the channel. I appreciate your emails, your comments, your feedback. Thank you, thank you. Listen, I titled this video "A Win for America," okay, and I put a question mark because I'm not so sure if that's the case. Now, you all know, those of you who follow the channel, you've been tuned in, you know that I have been speaking recently, even maybe a month or two ago. I started talking about the potential rail strikes that were, in talks here in the United States. Well, just to give you all an update, I just recently did a video. Make sure you check it out. Maybe a little bit later I'll go back and put the link to my video on the railroad, the possible railroad strike. I'll put a link so you can go and watch it. But listen, y'all, early this morning I didn't get a chance to record a video, but early this morning, President Biden announced that a tentative deal had been reached to avoid a rail strike. Now, I did get a chance just now to listen to his speech where he spoke today to announce details about this tentative deal. And I do encourage you to go and watch it. You can just do a quick search and you'll see where he spoke today. And he talks about how there was a tentative deal that had been reached. He mentioned that the rail workers would receive better pay, better wages. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that the rail workers would see I think it's a 24% increase in their pay over 5 years, and maybe other benefits as well. Okay, now he also mentioned, and here's where surprisingly I would have to agree with him when he spoke about how our rail workers, as well as many others in the transportation industry and other essential businesses and services, they kept things going for our country during the pandemic. And so certainly I feel like our workers in the transportation industry, essential services, many of us, right, we deserve better pay, better wages. So I'm not disputing the fact that they shouldn't receive something for what they do, but here's where I am concerned though. I just did a video as well talking about how in Minnesota, the state of Minnesota, there are now 15,000 nurses who are on strike, maybe more by the time this video is released. And so I'm asking the question again, is this going to be something that people in other industries start to do? We know certainly, and I've covered it right here on the channel as well, where our truck drivers, they were at one time demanding the same thing. Maybe it's still going on, so it's just something to think about. You all let me know your thoughts on that as well. Do you think this is something that's going to be occurring quite frequently in our economy, seeing that many workers in many different industries, they're going to be demanding better pay, better wages, better working conditions, and the threats of more strikes? But President Biden, something else I was concerned about, and that really inspired the title for today's video. He said it was a win for America. Now certainly, and I've shared this before, we know that railroad workers, they're transporting foods, grains, different items, in certain cases fertilizers. Many different items are being transported by rail, right? And so I even reported in a news article, I believe I was referring to, I can't remember if it was Bloomberg or Reuters, but they were saying that if we were to have a rail strike, it would cost our country approximately $2 billion a day. Now y'all got to think about it. And I was talking to my husband about it. Our country, pretty much is like running a business, right? Do you really think that they're going to allow a rail strike to happen? All right, you all let me know. It would be like losing too much money, right? Think about business wise. They would lose too much money every day if there were a real strike. Okay, so you let me know, did you really think from the beginning that they, our administrators, all parties involved, whoever, do you really think they would allow a real strike to happen? Okay, now let's talk about when Biden said in his speech today that this was a win for America. Okay, so certainly, in a sense, we can keep many things going, although don't be fooled, our supply chain crisis is still in a mess. Okay, I'll give you all some updates on that as well. You can check out the channel. I have many videos when I was talking about the supply chain crisis was coming, about the ports that were out in California. I was talking about that, y'all, at a time when it wasn't really being talked about at all. Okay, a win for America. One of the things that stood out to me, he talked about how the workers, they would receive so many benefits, things like that. But we know how that goes. We know that they're going to tell us one thing, and it may be true. Some of it may be true. But, in some ways, those workers may still say, hey, okay, we'll take this, but it's still not enough. So that's one thing. But then a win for America, right? Let's talk about, is this really a win for America? Whenever our president, other officials, when they give press conferences, when they speak, I always pay attention to the questions that the reporters ask at the conclusion, at the end of their speech, right? And so I remember there was a time when, and maybe you remember it as well, but I remember just watching him early on in the beginning of his presidency. President Biden used to take time to answer questions from the reporters at the end. Do y'all ever remember that? I remember seeing that several times, right? I don't always, I'll say, I'll go on record as saying I don't necessarily always agree with everything he says. And, I don't always support what he says or does, but I try to, tune in when I can to see, okay, like what is the plan? What's really going on, right? So I remember early on in his presidency, he used to take time to actually answer questions from the reporters, okay? But if you go and watch his speech today, you'll notice that, as soon as he finished and he turned to walk away, right, the reporters in the audience, the news reporters, the media, that were present, some of them were asking questions, about a couple of the questions were, let me see if I can remember some of the things that were said. I want you all to go back and watch this and listen and hear and see it for yourself. One of the questions someone asked about, they were just basically saying how groceries, cost of groceries items, I think, had gone up maybe like 13%. And one of the reporters said, what do you have to say to struggling Americans, right? Go back and listen to it. I even tried, putting on the captions just to make sure I was hearing correctly. So one of the reporters asked, asked the president as he was walking away, he asked him, hey, what do you, groceries up 13%. What do you have to say to struggling Americans? And I believe, y'all, if I heard him correctly, you all let me know. Do you know, I think I heard him say in response to the question, groceries are up over 13%. What do you have to say to struggling Americans? Do you all know, I believe I heard him say the rail is moving so it won't go up. Can somebody go back and just listen and verify if that's what y'all heard him say? So he's saying that because the railroad is still moving and there's not going to be a strike, he's saying that that's not going to cause groceries to go up. Now, do y'all believe that? Now, I know, okay, I don't know most of y'all, I do not know you personally, okay, but I think we all have enough sense to know that that is so wrong, right? Because the rail is moving, groceries are not going to go up. Do y'all think that's a true statement? I think he might have got that one wrong. Okay, but you all let me know your thoughts on that. Make sure you, I want to suggest that you tune in and listen and let me know. Did you all hear him say that too? Did you all hear him say, because the rail is moving, the cost won't go up higher? what I really wonder what made him say that. You all know that we are in an election year. We have some important elections that are coming up. And, you know, do you think that President Biden and the Democratic Party, do you think they're going to try to use this alleged tentative deal? By the way, another reporter, well, let me finish my thought and then I'll mention this, right? Do you all think they're going to try to use the fact that somehow they were able to influence or help reach a tentative deal? Do you think they're going to try to use this to help win votes in the next election? Is this what this is really all about, y'all? Do they consider this a win for them? You all let me know your thoughts on that. There was something else. It just came to my mind and I was going to mention it. Something that one of the reporters asked him about. Oh, another reporter asked, you know, hey, are unpaid, I think it's unpaid sick leave, is that really a win for, you know, workers? All these things that they think are wins, it may not in actuality be a win at all. Okay, there was something else somebody said and I was like, wow, maybe it'll come back to me. But you all let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on that. Oh, also someone mentioned, you know, about there was a question about the crisis at the border. Okay, do you consider that a win? I mean, he was just really, you know, they were just really just firing off a lot of questions, and he only answered the one when the reporter asked about what do you say to struggling Americans when groceries are up over 13%. Okay. So you all let me know your thought. Oh, this is what I was going to say, y'all. I just remembered it. So someone, I can't remember if it was a male or female voice, but one of the reporters, one of the journalists said, you know, Mr. President, do you think it's premature to announce that a tentative deal had been reached when the union hadn't even released a statement yet? So based on, you know, that journalist's response, it makes me think that, and you all let me know if this is true or not, did he announce this before anyone involved, the union representatives? Did he make this announcement before they even said anything about it? Now, if that's the case, what's really up with that, y'all? Kind of suspicious, right? I don't know. To me, it leaves the room for a whole lot of questions. Okay. So, you all let me know your thoughts on this. They're allegedly, okay, President Biden is saying that a tentative deal has been reached to avoid a real strike. Okay. I have a lot here coming on the channel. I will be going live pretty soon. We're going to check out and see. I want to show you what the shelves are looking like in different areas where I am. And also I would like for you to report, what are you seeing, what are you hearing in your local area, in your state? Let me know what's going on. One of the things that I will be talking about in a future video is the fact that, you know, we all know that there's a crisis going on at the border. For, you know, whatever reason, we have many people who are coming to our country, whether they're escaping conflict, turmoil in their home country. And a lot of people, you know, from different areas are coming, you know, crossing our border into our country. There are concerns and talks that the border is not secure, the border is not safe. And in places such as Texas, and I believe even now Florida, the governors of those states are sending who they refer to as migrants. They're sending them by bus, by airplane, to other cities such as Washington, D.C., Chicago. And, you know, they're basically saying, hey, okay, you deal with them. You're not helping us here where they're coming from the borders. However they're coming, you're not helping us. So we're going to send them to your city or other cities. It's basically, it sounds like a cry for help. So we're going to talk about that and maybe some concerns with that. But again, y'all, today's announcement, do you really consider that a win for America? Y'all, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, supporting the channel. A lot is going on now. We got to stay encouraged. We got to stay motivated. We got to keep our eyes open. Okay. We got to keep our ears open. We got to stay busy, prepare as much as possible. A lot is going on, y'all. So y'all take care. Thank you so much again. Stay tuned to the channel. Please check the channel daily. So much is going on. I'm making a commitment to update you all more frequently about some things that are going on. And as always, I'm offering some solutions, okay? So again, thank you all so much. Don't be fooled. Don't be distracted. Stay focused. And after all, you know, we're doing the things that we're doing. We're preparing. Because at the end of the day, you know, when we get in, you know, and if we get in an SHTF situation, we want to be able to prepare and provide for our families, okay? Y'all take care. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. I'll be bringing more information to you all right here on the channel. Thank you. Thank you. And again, I ask, based on today's announcement, is it really a win for America, or does much more need to be done? Thank y'all, and talk to you soon.